Getting ready for the 2019 women's lacrosse season. I'm Matt Gajtka with head coach Katrina Silva, entering her second year in charge here. 13th season as a D1 head coach.
Makes me old.
Experience, definitely an asset here. But overall, when you compare yourself to when you first started in this job to now, how do you approach it differently when getting ready for a season?
I think the one thing is I have a lot more fun than I used to have. When I was younger, I was probably way too serious, and now I try to keep it a family atmosphere. We have a great time. We laugh. We high five. I want the kids to be risky. I want them to throw behind the backs. I want them to do around the worlds. 5 years ago, I would have lost my mind if I had done that.
Okay, so there you go. The season's coming up quickly. Saturday at Kent State. You got a chance to see them, so we can talk about the opponent first here coming up over this weekend. You saw them in fall ball. It's a brand new Division I program. So how do you approach that from a scouting standpoint?
I think the biggest thing is we focus on ourselves. We have to make sure that our defense gets right back to where we were last year. One of the top in the nation. We play a really great different style of defense. We've added to that this year, so we're pretty excited about where that group's going. And then we get Ken's Gandy back on offense, who broke her arm last year, and hoping for big things out of her.
Well, yeah, right. Obviously, injury is a big part of it, and they continue to always be a storyline. But overall, you returned 12 players who played in all 18 games last season, 4 defenders who started all 18 games last season. So you have to feel good about that. You lost Dana Davis, obviously a big-time performer, to graduation, but only 3 seniors left the program there via graduation. So that's definitely a positive side of things.
Yeah, I think you have Shannon Lynch. She was a first-team all-performer last year. She did a great job. She's really distributing the ball well, so she can take it when she needs to, but she can also find Ken's or Mel. I think the twin combination will really add some depth for us. I think we have a lot of newcomers that are really ready to step up. Kelsey Nelson, Hannah Miller is a sophomore this year, and Cleo Kerr, I think you're going to see really big things out of her.
Yeah, Kerr was one of the players that took a jump. You mentioned Shannon Lynch last year, too. Melanie Gandy was big for you, getting some more playing time and coming through there. You talked about the defense, but on offense, this could be a pretty potent squad.
We are really talented, and we're really talented throughout. So from start to finish, Caitlin Miller in goal, you can't say enough great things about her. Jamie Keller's a freshman. She's going to give us some different looks in our ride, in our clears. And, we're just really, we're solid. I don't, it's been a weird group that it's actually really fun at practice. The offense-defense combinations it's a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, highly competitive, no doubt about it. Maybe iron can sharpen iron in that way. And you mentioned the defense, so let's talk about that too. You were second in the NEC last year in goals allowed per game. Caitlin Miller, obviously, a big part of that. But defense is a team game, and you were 10th in all of Division I, under 10 goals allowed last season. So what clicked there? That's the second time in 3 years, actually, your team has been below 10 goals allowed per game.
I think it's the chemistry between the team. The girls on the team, we have a really great system. We play some zones, we play some man, we mix things up a lot. We keep the other team guessing. That's one of our best strengths, and the girls listen and respond to what we need to do back there. And then you have Kate, if something goes wrong, she makes it look better.
It's always nice to have that backstop. You're a former goalie, so you can appreciate that side of it.
Yep. Goalies are definitely a special world, and she's a special kid.
When you look at the non-NEC schedule, I mentioned Kent State to start. You have Canisius here at home to open up next Wednesday. Any other highlights that you want to point to before we get going in NEC play?
I think every game this year is really important to developing all of our players on our team, our different chemistries. We're still, mixing up our midfielders. Megan Krause is going to be off to a slow start with an injury right now, so we have to just make sure that have everyone ready. You're going to see Emily Kim step up for a couple weeks. So as much as I'd love to say I worry about everyone else, I have a lot to worry about with ourselves.
And finally, this team has put together 5 consecutive playoff berths. You finish in the top half of the NEC. That's how that works in this league. And you're picked again to finish in the top 4. You've also had 3 straight above 500 seasons in the NEC. So what has been the tradition that's been built up here? This is going into your 15th season, but for more than half of those, RMU lacrosse has been highly competitive.
Yeah, I think that's we find ourselves in a traveling conference, and to host the NEC playoffs, I think would be our biggest weapon, quite honestly. I think to skip that 10-hour bus trip at the end would really be enjoyable. So we're going to fight every game to try to get NECs here where it belongs, we think, and then have everyone visit us in Pittsburgh. It's a great city. They'll enjoy their time.
Especially in the springtime, right, when the NEC playoffs come along.
You could come along and watch a game.
You could do that, too. Hopefully the Penguins are still playing. Anyway, Katrina, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Matt.
We'll open up the season here Saturday. Coverage at rmucolonials.com out at Kent State University.